Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. Hold on a second. We got a little. There we go. Thunder Productions, Eunice Butterball, Counterpunch, Counterpunch, and Counterpunch. Listen, I was gonna wait later, right? But this couldn't wait. This couldn't wait, man. Bereshite Elohim, high five. There we go, brother. Counterpunch to you. Uh, you know, I think by now people need to understand that I'm not a biased guy. I'm not that dude, you know. And we got to reflect what happened tonight. We've seen one of the best fights of the year. Loreco, what's up, my brother? Yo, Kurt, what's up? And crew, much love, much respect. Counterpunch to you. I was just looking at one of my commandants. He had his birthday today. Shout out to Punch Drunk Boxing. He turned whatever year he turned today. Congratulate him. And I was just watching that. And of course, you know, I was doing video after video after video like I always do concerning Daniel Dubois. And Daniel, man, he showed us that you don't have to be the most clever. You don't have to be the most sophisticated or a magician with words. You don't have to be any of that to be a world champion. I have to remind people, back in the day, that's what promoters were for. Promoters were there to be the voice of the fighter. Until you start having guys like Muhammad Ali and, you know, others, many others, okay? We can go down the list with Roy Jones and Floyd and all that had a voice for themselves. But understand, sometimes these speak for themselves. You know, man, I tell you, I love boxing. I always have. Like I told you guys, the live before last, the love I have for boxing. It shows a primitive way of getting a point across. And if you don't respect it, like I tell a lot of people, it's good to talk that shit. It's good to be charismatic and, you know, you pronunciate things right. But if you can't deliver in the ring, what good are you? You know? We have, yeah, happy birthday, Punch. Yeah, man, happy birthday to that dude, man. Croon Boost, great work, Kurt. Listen to you from the UK. Dubois would still quit against Usyk. I still think Tyson will go for it. So something on the line for AJ. Maybe. AJ's another story. This isn't about Anthony Joshua. This is about Daniel Dubois. And then I honestly feel it was so many people that was upset from the last win or victory of Daniel Dubois. It just, I think it's set wrong with people. And I guess now that it's Fabio, I think now we can reflect and see what we're dealing with. Okay. I think Fabio Wardley says Tony issue will regret not going for it in the first after the knockdown. Maybe. I think maybe he felt that, yo, this is easy. I can hit this guy easy. I hit him first. I connected first. I got the first knockdown. I did this. I did that. You know what I mean? And I think that that might have been something. So, counterpunch, good counterpunch. I get frustrated with your commentating. Why laugh at the boxers? Why laugh at the boxers? Because I'm human, man. I'm human. You know, it's crazy. I've been talking boxing way before the channel it was ever created. And I think that's a natural response. You know what I mean? I have respect for all boxers. I told Daniel that, hey, I respect you. Um, I'm proud of you. And I wouldn't do this video if I didn't say that and send the message across to him. Daniel Dubois is a guy that is a force in the heavyweight division, and he ain't going nowhere. I told people so many times, I'm like, yo, everybody writing this dude off. Everybody saying, yo, he's a quitter and all this. He does these type of things. And we got to talk about that for a minute, right? Dubois, bin man, clean up the trash. Yeah, he did exactly that. But I think with the trash man quote, I think that helped Dubois because anytime you tell someone you can't do something or they can't do something, they're going to prove you wrong, and that's going to be extra motivation. And you know something? Here's the weird thing. Everybody says Dubois is mentally weak. But when have someone said Dubois couldn't do it and he didn't deliver? Think about it. See, everybody, oh, well, not everybody, my bad. A lot of people thought that Daniel was going to beat Usyk. A lot of people thought that. And it didn't happen. But who has beat Usyk? Come on. Let's be real. Kurt, they are talking about a rematch. Yeah, there's a rematch clause, and I think that's to save face with Fabio Wardley because if anything could help Wardley would be a rematch and him landing the right hand. But I have to tell you guys something. He has to do more than that. He has to be more constructed, if that makes sense. He has to learn how to throw the right hand, follow the left hook. He needs to learn offense, and maybe Ben can do it. Maybe he can't. I called it. Many underrated Dubois. Brig XL Biz. Because of the loss to Usyk, Dubois on a good day is a wrecking machine. He's good foot. He has good footwork and jab. Best fight for him now is Atoma, and he will shock all. Well, I don't know if he will be allowed to fight Atoma because Atoma is the next guy. And anybody should know anything about promotions. Atoma is a guy that he needs fights. You compare Dubois' resume to Moses' resume, and you're going to get a mixed match. Mismatch, right? There you go. Mismatch. Don't think there will be a rematch, says CJ. Dean 7. No one is interested in seeing a rematch. I don't know. I don't know about that because Fabio dropped Dubois twice and Fabio didn't go down once. I don't think he knows how. And that may be because of inexperience. See, one thing I learned when Dubois went down the second time, you can kind of see that Kevin Lerena fight in that. And you've seen him. he got hit. It was a delayed knockdown, but I think most importantly, Dubois knew how to bend the knee. He knew how to bend the knee. He knew how, okay, oh shit, I'm hurt right now. Let me take my time and take this count. Give me seconds to recoup. Okay? Because what ain't happening while I'm recouping, this dude ain't going upside my head no more. Right? Bear Straight Elohim. After a loss, Fabio's confidence may not be there anymore. Nah, I don't think he knows. That only shows in the next fight. We can't assume anything about these fighters because understand, between these two guys, I just ate, so forgive me. But these guys gave each other a hiding. They really showed what they wanted to the best of their ability. Fabio showed that right hand that he damn near adopted from Wilder, right? Daniel showed his resilience, his durability, and his will to stay around. You know, he didn't fall to pieces. He got hit, and he was like, oh, he was knocked down on the seat of his ASS. He was a guy that got hit, and he was like, yo, I need to get up now. I need to show people this is the first round. And that's a scary thing. That's scary. When you, ding, ding, you go in there and bow, you go down. That's scary, bro. Because what you don't get is, first of all, you ask, oh, what happened? That's the first thing any fighter asks after getting up, going to the corner. A lot of fighters ask the same question. What did he hit me with? AJ asked that. A lot of people ask that. A rematch could be like the second Frazier-Clark fight. It could be. It could be. But I think Fabio knows and he's learned about 11 rounds of whatever. Fake airy spear sounding. Fake airy spear sounding. Okay. Whatever that means. Alex Max Power. Revenge. Good idea. Since people want Moses and Fabio to be in different camps, would you suggest Fabio to leave now? No. He shouldn't leave now because he's not fighting Moses. If a rematch is warranted and they actually put it together, you give Daniel more money and you see how Daniel handles a rematch and see how his temperament is. Will he be hungry like he would be this fight? It's a very good scenario. It's a very good question. Chisora said he knew Daniel would win even after the knockdown. No, he didn't say that. He said that Daniel, after the knockdown, was winning. And he was. He was winning with his jab. The same jab I reminded you guys of that Daniel had, that when he hit people, it was like a right hand. Spat! Spat! He caught Fabio with that punch, and Fabio, first of all, did not have an answer for it. He could not correct that particular shot. This guy got caught with that shot, and that's the punch that caused him a lot of problems. Chisora said Fabio didn't train. It's like he didn't train. I believe Fabio did train. I think Fabio, though, to be honest with you, Fabio did what he always did. He's damn near like the Carbon, the British copy of Deontay Wilder. You don't fix anything. You don't really add anything to your repertoire. Therefore, somebody's going to figure that out. Ben Davison doesn't teach his guys defense. He faced Daniel twice and didn't learn anything. Well, he ain't learned enough. He didn't learn enough. Jay Roos, he didn't learn enough, man. Because Daniel was prepared to keep going. And what Daniel had versus what Fabio had on the day was more. Daniel needs to work on his blocking. Well, keep in mind what Jay Roos just said, right? If you or if that trainer didn't prepare you for anything, what makes you think the other one will? See, I heard Don Charles. I watched a lot of Don Charles. And then what he said, we didn't try to fix anything. We just tried to perfect what was there. We picked up where we left off. And I don't think that consisted of defense. Shout out to Showbiz, man. My boy Showbiz, man. He lost 20 grand. You know, but hey, if you are doing big numbers like that, you can afford to gamble that type of money. Parker was robbed. See? Jamie, you see what happened? I told you what would happen. If Fabio gets beat, everybody will then start to review what Fabio's accomplishments were. And now people are doing it. Now people are looking back and saying, you know what? I think that Fabio, kind of got lucky. The bin man tells no lies. The trash got taken out. Stanley 72, counterpunch to you. Exactly. Daniel figured out the right after the knockdown, and the rest was history. Well, he made adjustments. He just knew where it was coming from, where Fabio was targeting that right hand. See, Fabio was he chops with the shot. And keep in mind, when you are in a stable of fighters in the same gym, you start to do the same things. Who else does that? Moses. Moses does that with his left and his right. He chops. When you see someone that chops, you know it's more of a hook mechanism, a formation of a hook or a roundhouse. You know what I mean? Those shots, to dip. You know that. And Dubois knew that. That's why he either stood back or he dipped underneath. Because it wasn't a straight shot. It was a chopping, looping shot. Daniel versus Caballero in the fight. Ooh. It's a bad fight, bro. Because, see, Daniel comes at you like a raging bull. And, Caballero, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I think Frank needs to, what's the word? Set aside Jet Caballero for Usyk. I think that would be smart. Don't put all your fighters in one war. Don't do it. Because who knows what Daniel is thinking. And I'll tell you, the significance of Daniel is Daniel really doesn't. He reacts, he responds, he executes. He's like Danny the dog, right? Too many jabs, overhand rights. Fabio threw too many jab, overhand rights, and he was missing. Yeah, because that was his go-to. That was exactly his go-to. Skrilla 50 in the building. Welcome back. Counterpunch to you. Kurt, do you think the ref did the right thing in the fight? Well, I think, honestly, that ref knew that pressure, the camera, The focus was on him at a particular time, and I think he felt the pressure. And because he felt the pressure, he knew, yo, I need to do my damn job. Do I think he was on the take? I think he was in favor of Wardley to win. How many times did that ref just jump in there like Kenny Bayless and just separate these guys for no apparent reason? Think about that for a minute. The ref was horrible. Yeah. He wasn't a good ref. We all know he needs to be investigated. And because I feel he was on the take, he could in fact be a guy that caused Wardley damage that he didn't need. Alex Max Power 18. Daniel Dubois, very dangerous boxer for Caballero, believe me. Yeah. Because I just think Caballero's faster, he's quicker. Caballero is a super Justice Huni, but he fights in a different way. He camouflages his punches, and not every punch that Caballero throws is going to be a powerhouse. It's to touch you for a reason. Some of those overhand rights have more sting on it than some. Some, I think, Caballero throws to gauge what you're going to do, what he can hit you with. You know what I mean? But his main focus is the body. Caballero is flat-footed fighter. Daniel Dubois will stop him. You think Caballero is a flat-footed fighter? If Caballero was a flat-footed fighter for just a second, let's be honest now, he would not have beat Zhilei Zhang. Let's just be real. He knew how to come in, move out. In fact, Caballero, if he was a flat-footed fighter, he would have got beat by Zhang, and he would have got beat by Arslan Bekmambetov, which I had Markmadov beating Ajit. Just the size. You're looking at David and Goliath, right? So, no. Yeah, you can miss me with that, man. He's not flat-footed. I don't believe in putting fighters down just to big up another fighter. We're bigging up Daniel Dubois because Daniel Dubois proved to everyone that doubted him that he's a quitter. You keep telling somebody you're a loser, you don't make no money, you're a broke ass, you ain't shit, you ain't worth nothing. If you tell somebody that, they're going to show you the opposite. It's psychology, especially. It's motivation. It's motivation. When you tell somebody you can't do something, they're going to come back and say, see, I told you so. Oh, you said I couldn't do this? Well, here you go. Oh, I can't do that? Oh, here you go. Wardley might be damaged goods now. He got busted up, but I mean, think about it. It's not the first time that he's been busted up. It's not the first time his nose been shattered. It's not the first time he has took an ass whooping. It's not the first time for anything for Fabio except for losing. Remember that. Despite what Don Charles says, Dubois still has quit in him. The right fighter may bring it out. Well, this is what I think, Jay Roos. Maybe. But that may be a while. Because Daniel fighting Usyk, it's a mismatch. We've seen it. I don't think that's the target anymore. I think Daniel is best with fighting fights that his promoter should orchestrate and promote or set for him. Skrilla 50, Howard Foster has been horrible since AJ versus Brazil. AJ could have stopped Brazil in the second round, but Howard prematurely got in AJ's way. Well, I don't think that he's a good referee. Wardley has been neglected to dust man. No. Wardley relegated? That's why Fabio might be damaged goods, or cumulative damage. Well, I think we'll see. I think Warley needs time to heal, take it easy, reflect, and go again. You know, Justice Hooney is very good, very slick. Just needs more power. He got an unlucky. He got unlucky against Wardley. Lucky, lucky is a good word to say. It is. Ben Davison, 0-2 against Triple D. Look, shout out to Don Charles, man. We can say what we want about Don. Don is passionate for what he did. Remember something. I don't think that Daniel would have done what he did if it wasn't for Don Charles. Don Charles, I think, had a discussion with Stan Dubois and told Stan, yo, bro, you fired me. You fired me. Why? It had to go down like that. And Stan was like, well, my son. Look, I think Don told him, if you want your son to be a champion again, rehire me. If you want to be his trainer, stay with Tony Sims or whoever he had, right? Because I think it was Tony Sims that he couldn't get it together with. Don slapped Daniel harder than Wardley did. No, that's bullshit. Don slapped Daniel Dubois to coach him and guide him, engage him where he needed him to be. He needed him to react a certain way. It's like, get your fucking mind. You remember Felix Trinidad Sr.? Why do you think Felix Trinidad got so many knockouts after he got dropped? He got dropped too. A lot. But his dad came in. Toma. Pero tuite. Right? He told him. He showed him. That's the intensity you need. You need to slap him. He getting punched anyway. Jodolov, way good boxer, 2-time Olympic champion. Jodolov will get knocked out, bro. He'll get knocked out by somebody like Danny Dubois. Moses will beat him too. I mean, if you put Jodolov in there with Daniel, it will be more of a fighter trying to come forward. Now, Daniel could run into shots. He could, but whatever. King Mike Hall, knew Fabio's career was in trouble. With that last fight, he took a shellacking, but won based on his name. Yeah, I think so. They didn't intend for Joseph to do anything. I mean, I'm still Team Joseph. I'm still justice for Joseph. But I do have my doubts, honestly. Let Wilder fight him. Wardley. See, Wardley has problems. He has a loss to Danny Dubois, which has been beaten by Alexander Usyk, which Usyk has not fought Fabio. So, yeah. It's still a dangerous fight, though. I think he can land against Usyk. Because I need to see Usyk what he does next month. Dubois is autistic. He probably shouldn't be taking punches. Nah. Let me tell you something. I dated a girl for a long time. And people with autism doesn't mean they can't take ass whoopings. And a lot of people make that mistake with people with autism. If you're saying, like you're claiming that Daniel is autistic, Daniel probably is on the spectrum, but he's probably level 1, if anything, level 0 point something. You know what I mean? But his ability to take punches, you can't handicap him and say he can't do something because he is autistic. He showed us just because he's autistic, what did he do? He beat the shit out of Fabio Wardley, didn't he? So we can't say he shouldn't be taking punches just based on his mental status. There's a lot of people, athletes. Aaron Hernandez. I'm trying to watch this shit. It's just too, yeah. But it showed you the trauma that someone takes, but their ability to keep taking it. Dubois has a hell of a chin and Hades of hands. Hades of hands. Every punch hurts. Bro, it's a big corn-fed dude. I told people that. I told anybody that would listen, man. I told anyone that would listen. That Daniel is a different type of person. He reminds me of Yorty Boy Campus. If he can hit you, he's going to keep fighting. If he can't, he's going to quit. Insert anger. 50. Now let's see if Tyson wants to fight these guys like Wardley and Dubois. Tyson is not going to do that because Tyson feels that he's above those type of guys' pay grade and everything else. You know, again, he's like his big brother Floyd. Floyd ain't going to fight fighters that may beat him up. In his later part of his career, he made it. Floyd made it an art form, not to fight people that could beat him. That's why he fought guys like Maidana instead of the guy that beat Maidana, Amir Khan. Jay Roos said, oh, Jay Roos, Triple D can't get a concussion because he's a... Well, if he's brain dead, do you think if Danny Dubois is brain dead, does that make him less dangerous or more dangerous? We won't see Parker for a while. He went in for the KO against Wardley when he thought he got him hurt. Yeah, he did. You know, he did, but that didn't work. Deontay Joyce, the head dust man. Bereshit Elohim, Kurt versus Triple D next. I'm not fighting Danny Dubois. Because I'm not an Alexander Usyk. I'm not an Alexander Usyk. I am a guy that has a crazy lifestyle. And if I did train to fight someone like that, it's the 46-year-old version of someone fighting someone that's 28. That's crazy. Nah. If brain dead, less simple. The casual expert subbed proper chat. Counterpunch to you, brother. Thank you. Welcome. Mohammed, Daniel Dubois is a 2-time heavyweight champion who got better wins, Dubois or Fury. Dubois. And let me counterpunch you. People, listen to me. Listen, please. I don't know why everybody's pushing this shit about 2-time champion. I've seen it in my comments. I read those comments. Daniel Dubois is not a 2-time champion. He's a 3-time champion. I'm going to prove it to you guys tonight. Let me get my water. Listen. Let me prove it to you. What did Danny Dubois obtain fighting Trevor Bryant?
By beating Trevor Bryan, Daniel Dubois won the WBA regular heavyweight title on June 11, 2022. He won via a knockout in the 4th round.
Thank you. See, WBA is like an interim belt. No, it's not. Did it say WBA interim? No, it didn't. What was Dillian White? He was a WBC interim. What is Ajit Kabayel? He's a WBC interim. Did it say interim there, people? Was that the title? Man, WBA regular is like an interim. It ain't, it's like one, but it ain't one. Okay? It's not the super title. It don't matter. It does not matter. Why it don't matter? Because he fought the WBA super. Now, if it was an interim, I would say interim. I'm just being fair. I'm just being fair. By defeating Trevor Bryant June 11th, 2022, Danny Dubois obtained the WBA regular heavyweight title. What does interim belt even mean? Let's ask. What does an interim belt mean?
An interim belt is a temporary championship title, awarded when the main champion can't defend it. It keeps the weight division active, and the winner gets a title fight. This happens due to injuries, legal issues, or other reasons, ensuring a fight when the original champion returns.
You see that? Danny Dubois was never an interim anything. He was a WBA regular, right? Regular, not interim. IBF, WBO current. So, I mean, you guys can take it what it is. I don't know why people are trying to downplay that shit. Because if it was anybody else, we would look at that man as a champion. Hell, when Manny Pacquiao was the WBA regular, nobody said shit, did they? You remember that? Before, way before Errol Spence fought Terrence Crawford. And they made Pacquiao a champion, and they didn't even add the WBO. A regular champion is a trinket in a division with super champions. I don't give a shit if you call it a trinket or whatever. Right? He's still a champion. You're saying like what it was. He beat Don King's last heavyweight. Well, not last, but his important because, I mean, he still has Michael Hunter kind of. But Michael Hunter's trying to get away from that shit. He's trying to get out of this grasp of Don King. The one who holds the belt for 10 fights is a one-time champ. Kurt, you're wrong. Dubois is a 4-time champion. KO'd Usyk. Well, that's all at the discretion and the decision of the referee. Luis Pabon, Puerto Rican referee, ruled that a low blow. So we can't do anything about it. That's more of a opinion versus Danny Dubois being a WBA champion. Kurt, Dubois named himself a 2-time world champion. What is your problem? I don't have a fucking problem. That doesn't. When has it meant that Danny Dubois is the expert on what the fuck he's earned? That's his problem. I'm just telling you what he has achieved. That's all. I don't have a problem with Daniel at all. Bars. What about Usyk Dubois trilogy? Don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. Fury's best wins: Klitschko, White, Wilder, Chisora, Dubois. Oh, Dubois' best wins: Joshua Hergovic and Wardley Miller. Yeah. And out of 3 out of 4 of those guys, all those guys were undefeated. Now, Tyson Fury fighting, look, Frank knows what he's doing. He's not going to put his cash cow. Why do you think Frank gives a shit about Tyson Fury? Because he knows Tyson Fury will sell. People will attend. Okay? This is British boxing for a minute. Think about it. Frank is not going to put Tyson Fury in there. That's a different. He has different categories for his fighters because he has so many. You know, Parker, Ajit, Daniel, Fabio, Tyson, Parker, Frank, and Tyson are cocaine buddies. Have nothing to do with that, bro. Allegedly, Frank matches his fighters. Tough, I agree. Well, Fabio wanted to fight, so we can't necessarily blame Frank for that. Frank just okayed it based on the desires of his fighters. You know what I mean? The whole idea of control is to allow fighters that they have control. You know what I'm saying? Is he? I saw tickets for the Fury fight for $7, so maybe he is not as big. Tyson gets big purses. That's the point. If the fighter gets big purses, then the promoter gets percentages of those big purchases or purses. Frank almost a monopoly in heavyweight, smart guy. Yeah, I agree. Dubois has the problem. He can't even count his own belts. That's not my problem. Fortunately for me, I can count. My mom was a teacher. I knew how to count. I knew what 1 + 1 + 1 means, and it doesn't fucking equal 2. Atama called out Dubois according to Seconds Out. Well, I think if Frank or if Fabio wants a crack at him again, Fabio's going to unfortunately have to wait. He matched in against each other. Fabio Ferrardly. No, I'm not going to call him a fraud. I just told people that Fabio is not put together like people think. Just because you can take punches doesn't make you invincible. Ask Joe Joyce that. Ask Joe Joyce. Partridge will get butchered by Dubois. Uh, I think, fortunately for Tyson, I don't think he'll take that fight anyway. It's crazy, man. Because Daniel did a good job tonight. He really did. I mean, he really did. Did Joyce retire? Nah. Joyce didn't retire. He's like Luis Ortiz. Those guys are just sitting around waiting for another bone to be thrown at them, meaning another fight. Can we still say Dubois is a quitter? Nope. Why would you call him a quitter? The man went down twice and got up and beat somebody's ass until the referee stopped it. How can you call him a quitter? The same thing could have happened in the Hergovic fight. It did not. Fabio Wardley just proved to be a bigger puncher than Hooney. No. He claimed to be a bigger puncher than guys like Joshua. Joshua hit Dubois on the chin. I think Dubois, like a lot of fighters, can't take certain shots in their cabeza. They can take a shot here, but they may not can take it here or here or here. Kurt, what's with the time over there? What's the time over here? It is 1:30. Still early as hell, kind of. Partridge will get butchered by Dubois. Well, I think Tyson's smart enough not to fight him. Because again, Tyson is not fighting. He's not going to fight Dubois. He's not going to fight Ruiz. He's not going to fight anyone, I guess, besides Usyk, in which he's already proven to be beaten by. You know, 6:30 p.m. Sunday here. Where you at? Insert .anger 50. Skrilla 50. Temple shots are brain scramblers. Absolutely, bro. You ever got hit upside your head? That does a number on you, man. You know, this all of that shit should scramble and can scramble your computer, your natural computer that God gave you. South Auckland, nice, big up. Partridge will get butchered by Dubois. Okay, here we go. Scanline City. In one of Frank's interviews after the fight, a reporter claimed Dane White and Zuffa would be promoting the Fury AJ fight with Netflix. I find that hard to believe considering fighters represent. I don't know. I don't think anybody would give a shit based on the money that they will receive because we need to get in our mind and understand that Zuffa is a product of Turkey Al Sheikh. Who runs it? Dana. Who finances it? Turkey. Sure is KO. Sure is KO'd me. I sparring top of the head out on my feet 1992. It happens, man. Somebody hit you over the head, man. That oof. Or the ear. That's what got Wilder. You know. I feel bad for Fabio because Fabio had so much potential to fight other fighters. You know, he could have came because he wanted to come to the US. He didn't make it. He just didn't make it yet. I think Mike Tyson secretly KO'd Wilder by introducing him to the ayahuasca. He didn't introduce him to shit. Wilder needed that shit because his woman or his girl was messing everything up for him, was stressing him out. Oscar Hinao, never been hit on the top of the head, but was hit on the side. For a small guy, I'm blessed with a large, whatever the hell that is. Okay. You kind of cornered the heavyweight commentary like Frank cornered the heavyweights. Yeah. I mean, it's the only thing that really pretty much kind of gets me, man. Um I don't want to say I'm burnt out. I'm just not interested a lot in because I read a lot. I pay attention to a lot of videos. It's just I don't make these videos like I used to because I'm just not interested. I hope to be interested. I hope like Abdullah Mason, guys like that, Keyshawn Davis. I hope guys like that will make fights, but these old heads, these guys that's been around for the last 7, 8 years, they're showing to be beat. They're showing flaws, and they just showed us that they really weren't as good as they or we hope them to be. I watch you in Boxing Squared. Man, I haven't seen a Boxing Squared video for the guy from Australia. I haven't seen him in years, literally years. I haven't seen this guy in a long time, and he has good commentary. He has a great breakdown, and I just haven't seen him. And it just shows you, I know I'm subscribed to him. Just shows you how people kind of, or algorithms, kind of set aside certain channels. I think he's Kiwi just focuses on heavyweights. You think I'm a Kiwi? Malatalua! Nah, man, I'm not. Much love to my Polynesian, Micronesian, South Pacific brothers all over the world. Ooh, Boxing Squared had a bad accident. What kind of accident did he have? Just, I hope he's okay. Bereshit Elohim. Kurt, do boxers get paid for each interview? And yes, what happens when the fighter walks off? I don't know. I think some of them do. I think some younger or smaller channels would pay. Because for the record, I do remember having an interview with Sugar Shane Mosley. And that actually, I was taken back from his handlers. His handlers contacted me. And they were like, man, can you give Sugar Shane Mosley $300? I'm like, $300? What the fuck? It wasn't even public. It was all for my members only. It was specified content. So yeah, I think a lot of those guys, man, they're there because they're getting some kind of kickback. I don't do kickbacks, bro. I'm sorry. I don't kiss ass, neither do I pay for interviews. That's probably why you don't have a lot of them here. The people that come onto this channel wants to be here. Not because they're getting paid, is because they've either seen the commentary or the content that I've made about them, and that's that. I don't pay people, hey man, I'll pay you this. No, I'm not paying nobody shit, bro. I'm paying enough for these damn fights. Let's just be real, man. I'm not paying anybody anything like that because that interview doesn't make or break the channel at all. You know what I mean? And it's not the fact that I feel that I'm better than anyone else. I don't believe in that at all. If you like my channel, do you think Dean White, Teofimo Lopez Sr., Kenny Porter, who else has came on the channel? Spencer Farron. Do you think these guys have asked me for fucking money? Do you think that I would, oh, here's some money, let me cash app you, let me Zelle you, or let me PayPal you? I'm not PayPaling, Zelling nobody's shit. If they want to be here, it's a treat. Shout out to my boy Jay Roos. We did an interview together with Jim Lampley. You think Jim Lampley asked us for fucking money? No, he loves the sport. He don't need our money. He wants to share and collaborate with us. Right, Jay? That's how it's going to be. It's not going to ever be me doing that. The only way that would be a thing would be I do something like, yo, Floyd, Money Mayweather, why don't you come here to my house and let's talk and let's do this interview? And we have cameras set up for us to just have a discussion. And me and Floyd could have it out. I could pay Floyd. But remember something, people. These guys that made the money, made the fight purses, made endorsements and stuff like that, if they need my money to talk to me, that's sad. I'm going to be real. That's sad, man. That's sad. And exactly. Jim Lampley is royalty in boxing. And that was not my interview. That was Jay Roos' interview. Because I don't like to reach out to people. Because I think it's always like Jaya Pataya knows who the hell I am. Hell, I think he does. But you reach his manager, they'll try to send me something about, pay this and no, bro. I'm not saying that they asked, but you know, Manny Robles. I talk to Manny Robles a lot. We converse a lot. Has he been on the channel yet? No. But is it because I had to pay him? No. He's never asked me for money. He knows that this is a boxing channel. The boxing channel helps them with exposure, helps them get a point across, helps them show their POV. That what helps them. So why pay them? See, that was a dope interview. I watched it 3 times. Yeah, man, it was real good. You know, I mean, I enjoyed Sugar Shane Mosley. And Sugar Shane, for the record, he didn't ask me for money. It's just people behind that asked us, like, I'm like, yo, what? You should have told me that before you had the interview. You know what I mean? And it was more like, yo, well, don't post it. And I'm like, don't post it. Well, what the fuck? You know? Mr. Marcus Taylor, who played Suge Knight straight out of Compton, agreed to come on my show, then later tried to charge me 100 per hour. Marcus Taylor did that. Marcus. The actor stuntman. Uh okay. Marcus Taylor. Marcus Taylor. I worked with Marcus Taylor on Black and Blue. I worked with him and Curtis Lyons. That unfortunately he died in a car accident in late 25, I think. No, late 24. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't. Nah, I'm not paying anybody any money, but I know exactly who he is. Kurt, the funny thing is, Fabio didn't even give a post fight interview. Fabio was hurt because he's dealing with the first time he took a loss, which I can respect. At least he didn't crash out or spaz out like some people did. I ain't saying no names right now. You know what I mean? He must be struggling on, or he thinks he's really should. No, let me tell you something, guys. Actors, stunt performers, us, because I'm not excluded. The only thing is about the film industry is we're mostly unemployed. I've been fortunate by you guys by staying relevant some kind of way, by making money some kind of way. See, anything about fighting is that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years, but keep in mind about actors and stunt performers. We're basically whores, bro. We're whores when it comes to money or type of gigs that we think that we can benefit from. Just keeping it real. You know, and if it's a opportunity to make money, we're going, I say we're going to try it. I wouldn't do it. Because there's a lot of people that I've went on their channels and I ain't asked nobody for money because that's not why I went there for. I went there because they asked me to. Vlad TV is a culture vulture. Culture vulture. I don't know. I don't know the guy. Ari Spears beefing with Vlad because he wanted more money. He was getting 4,000 per interview. I think that's kind of dumb because if you know anything about YouTube, Vlad TV, he makes some decent money. But if you know anything about anybody that made money from YouTube, like me, I fortunately can tell you I've made money from YouTube. A lot of money. But for $4,000 up front, that's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this would be different if this was a Cat Williams video or, even Joe Rogan. But it's like Joe knows, yo, I will fly you in. I will put you in a hotel. We will do the podcast. Then you go away. Go back home. Get on that flight that I paid for. And that will be that. Anything else, I think, is asking for too much. And if they need money like that, I think they're just taking a shot. Honestly. Wait, you are a stunt man? Yes, I'm a stunt man. Kurt DeVille, look it up. No cap. My last show was what? Fucking Stranger Things in November? Couple episodes, sure. A lot of people like, damn, I just thought you was a guy, a regular ass dude that talks shit on about boxing, but for the most part, that's what I am. Until I get another show. Vlad pays Boosie $25,000 per interview. That's just fucking crazy. I mean, you have to keep in mind. Let's look at Vlad TV for a minute, man. If we're looking at some shit like that, Vlad TV. All right, so DJ Vlad. We're looking at a person that.
Well, now college is over.
I didn't mean to.
And here comes your student loan debt. Is private student loan debt
Shut
wrecking?
up. Shit. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, we look at Vlad.
So tell me about the Ari Spears thing. Well,
Okay, this is talking about Ari Spears. I don't really care to hear none of that shit right now. All right, so we look at. Oh, you got a lot of shit going. But yeah, to pay somebody, I just don't do that. I don't do that type of shit. Kurt is famous. You're only famous to the people that know you. Kurt, are you allowed to do clone interviews? You clone the boxers with no, I don't do none of that shit. Nah, man. I don't even like that word, right? Kurt isn't a clout chaser. Nope. Don't give a shit about it. Because I can talk about people that I've met and all this, name drop, but why? And honestly, sometimes, I mean, with people that are either alive and dead that I've worked with, I think it's good character not to just spill everything for some profit. Because some things is priceless, you know? But $25,000 is crazy. Damn. So you got a guy that has 6 billion views. 6 billion views is around $5 million. So if I get it. I mean, if it helps him, yeah, definitely it's helping him. He's been around since 2006. This motherfucker's been around 20 years. But yeah, I mean, Aries and all those guys that come on there, if they're getting money. I mean, I guess that's how it's structured. But Can't be me, man. Cannot be me. I just look at certain people I would like to interview, and then if they come with that, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? I think that's probably the problem. But it's all good. It's all good, man. It is all good. Yeah, let me bring people on in. No, I mean, if I'm cool with you, we get tight. I can bring you on the channel. I can bring you on the platform if it has something to do with boxing, but at the same time, why? You know? So, I mean, hey, if it helps him out, that's great. Good for him. I'm glad that it helps DJ Vlad make whatever he's making. But, no. But anyway, back to Daniel Dubois. Daniel showed us that he is more than meets the eye. He did exactly what he's supposed to with a person that with the experience that Fabio has. He's not an amateur guy. He doesn't have that pedigree. You know what I mean? He's tough. He showed that he can fight. He showed that he has power and all this. But he showed us a lot that he could work on. Someone like Danny Dubois would definitely jack somebody like Deontay Wilder with bad fundamentals. That'd be bad. Now, here's the thing about that jab. Wilder can land that right hand over the jab. And if I was Wilder and I had a $5 million fight with Danny Dubois, that's exactly what I would do. You know? Fabio Wardley is the second coming of Deontay Wilder. Maybe. Hold on a second. Who wins out of Atoma or Dubois? Well, this is what I'll tell you. If we're looking for somebody that's durable enough to take shots and keep getting up, I guarantee you Daniel will check the chin of Moses. So I'm not against that fight at all. I think that, Daniel, if he can hit you. Now, if he can't, Moses would probably be the second coming of Usyk. Another southpaw, fast, elusive, quick, a lot of pressure. And I don't think Daniel would be cool with a style like that. I'm just going to be just keeping it real. Man, no, man. I understand Wilder has fans, but I'm not a believer. He's not what people thought he was. He never was. Knocking out World of Tomatoes don't count. Well, I'll say this in defense of Wilder. Joseph Parker, Zhilei Zhang. You look at the people that beat them. Who else has fought them? See, until we get a comparison of what other fighters that's supposed to be on his level or that he are his rivals, we won't know. Because see, AJ ain't fought Zhang. He ain't fought Zhang. He hasn't fought he's fought Parker, but Parker, is a decision. Fury, he's never fought Parker. I don't think he will ever fight Parker. You know what I'm saying? There's too many inconsistencies and not enough matches. There's not enough fights going about. There's not enough fights for us to see where Deontay Wilder is, because the guys that Deontay finally got to fight beat him. But those guys got beat by who? The elite. So he's still in the discussion. See, Ajit Kabayel is a guy that he beat a lot of people. He beat everyone. But the elite hasn't fought him. Parker, he's fought. Wilder, he's fought. Fabio beat him. Who is Fabio? Fabio was the current former WBO champion. So Wilder said he came back to clean up the heavyweight division, but he doesn't mention Zhang. I wouldn't either. Zhang is that dude, man. You have to understand that. He's that dude. I missed. But yeah, I do think that Wilder, I think they should choose his fights wisely. And the reason I say that is because everybody else is choosing their damn fights wisely. You know, at what point do we need to understand? See, what Wilder, people don't understand about Deontay Wilder. Wilder fought fighters in the time frame of him not being at himself. A lot of people may say, oh, you full of shit, Kurt. No. We all know Wilder looked like a shriveled up, crack smoking ass basketball player when he fought both of them dudes. That dude was 209 pounds and 15 pounds. 215 pounds. Bro, you were barely making heavyweight. You might as well be fighting Jaya Pattaya. Let's just be real. I mean, Wilder was not the Wilder that we remembered that fought Fury 100 times. He wasn't the guy that knocked out Robert Helenius. And man, I'm going to tell you guys, man, what I know. You get with the wrong woman, and that woman starts stressing you out, and y'all got problems, you're not going to perform like you should. Let me tell you guys something, man. If you look at, let's take my brother Showbiz. Showbiz is good at what he does. But I guarantee you, Showbiz, if he was going through some shit with his family, you probably wouldn't even hear from him. He probably would hardly post. When things happen in your life, personally, that affects you deeply, you're not going to be the same person. You can't focus. You got to focus to do this shit. I have to have my mind right. You can't be all over the place giving out content, because it's going to show. You guys going to know it. You guys are going to see, yo, Kurt, you're not the same. What's wrong? And I'm one of them type of dudes, and I can speak for Punch Drunk too. When Punch Drunk's grandmother died, he wasn't the same person. I mean, he led to the public, which, you know, he needed people that he talked with and spoke to, his audience. But, you know what I mean? Things happen in people's life that affects the way their mindset works and their performance. That goes for all of us. If you had just broke up with your girl, or someone close to you died, or something happened in your immediate family with your children, you're not going to be the same person. Come on, man. I'm just keeping it real. You know, and I'm saying all that to say this. Deontay Wilder was not where he needed to be. I think he needed money. I think it was time to leave Al Heyman. That's when he fell out with Al Heyman. But other than that, he fell out with other things in his life. You think if Telly Swift was actually there and really supporting his ass, he would be like that? No. Even though she was there when he got beat by Joseph Parker. But in the same note, earlier that year, he found out she was cheating. That man was not together. And if you look at someone like Deontay Wilder, he is a very emotional person. That's why now you're like, maybe Wilder has mental health. I'm right, he has mental health. His mind is fucked up. And it was fucked up him going into Joseph Parker. It was fucked up when he went into Zilly Zane. He called himself. He got his rebound chick. That's still, you know what I mean? That shit was still on his mind, man. That's why he talked about her so much after that. It took him a while, though. He wasn't where he needed to be. I'm just keeping it real. Kurt, fight Dubois versus Moses now. Good idea or not? I don't think Daniel. I think Daniel's a war horse. I don't think that he cares who he fights after that. You know, to some people, they think he's a two-time champion. I think he's more than that. I think he's a three-time champion. Jay Roos, part of being a great champion is mental strength. Usyk was willing to join the military and still won while his country was at war. Yeah, but guess what, Jay Roos? Let me counterpunch you. Did his wife leave him? That was a country thing. That's something out of his control. He couldn't. Yo, I need you guys to chill. Russia, chill out. I got a bout to figure out. Bars. He said that was not Wilder. That was Dr. Sleep. Wilder doesn't talk about Zhang or Parker almost as it didn't. Well, because I get it. Because those guys that he fought, he wasn't mentally there. I mean, he was physically there, but I don't think anything else. And maybe he left Malik Scott because maybe Malik Scott reminded him of everything else going on. If you guys ever went through a breakup and you talk to somebody constantly, and then whatever happens with that breakup, and then you come back and you think of that person that you went to, sometimes you don't want to talk to that person or be around that person. I think Wilder separated himself from Malik Scott because he knew Malik Scott knew too much, and he didn't want to be reminded of the discussions that someone else was aware of that he discussed with them. That's what I believe. Wilder doesn't talk. Okay, we already seen that. Let's say Usyk was close to his dad when he passed and still boxed and won. Counterpunch. LOL. Yeah, but when Usyk's dad died, when though? His dad died a long time ago, and I'm not making an excuse, but it wasn't when he was whooping everybody's ass. But I get what you're saying. Skrilla 50, if you go through a breakup, get Andy's R&B album featuring King Kurt. Yeah, man, Andy went through it too, but I think Andy was on another whole. Andy was like Tyson Fury was when he beat Klitschko. You know what I mean? I think he was too busy on his wave of success because that's supposedly when his wife left him or whatever. Because, maybe Andy started smelling himself or whatnot. Whatever. Kurt, do you think Caballero beats Usyk? Maybe. You know what I mean? I do think, though, Usyk is a different type of fighter, man. Usyk is not... Dude, I'm telling you guys. That's why I'm disappointed in Usyk, because Usyk could have whooped all their asses. See, he let Dubois beat Fabio. He wanted Fabio to win so he could beat Fabio a new challenge, but you could have fought Fabio anyway. There shouldn't have been a Fabio versus Dubois. Dubois could have been fighting somebody else. But that's on Wardley. I mean, that's not Wardley's fault. Wardley picked Dubois because he didn't have any other way or a place to go. Did Wardley get a little overconfident after Parker win? I'm thinking about the way he called out Usyk as if he felt he was on the same level. I'll tell you this. I know he felt overconfident when he dropped Dubois and he looked down on him like his ass was Ali. Looked down, when he caught him and he looked down at him. Yeah, I think he felt a sense of comfort. I think he felt that the end is nearing. I think he felt this right hand is working. I think he felt a lot of positive things that he maybe shouldn't have thought at that time. But I mean, what happens when you drop somebody? That shit. Like Brandon Rios said himself, like busting a nut. I'm like, what? Yeah. That was the dust man stare. Oh, yes. The second KO, he even talked to him, I think. Yeah, he was taunting him. Fabio was taunting him, man, and he thought that he thought he had Daniel. And then since he saw Daniel do the same shite, he thought everything was all right. Bars! Fabio was a voluntary defense, though. Wardley could have picked someone else aside. Yep, he could have, but he didn't. That was his downfall. He thought that Daniel Dubois, since he got knocked out by Usyk, was ready to go. He think that's the best fight that I can make. People are going to show up and show out, and that's what they did, no doubt. But I mean, he learned, didn't he? Don't overlook any fighter. I told people in the breakdown from the full length video to the short, Fabio is not Usyk. I kept reminding you guys of that. I told you. I said, man, you guys are looking at fucking Fabio like he is Usyk or no. So I didn't pick him to win. I wanted him to win based on his ambitions. Because see, Fabio was ambitious. If it wasn't for the ambitiousness of Fabio Wardley, I wouldn't have wanted him to win based on what he wanted to do in the sport. He wanted to fight Wilder. Bro, Fabio and Wilder would be great. It ain't now. Triple D stops Atoma. I'm not saying that's not a real thing, people. I'm not saying that he couldn't stop Moses. The only way he would stop Moses, though, would him connect with Moses. I don't jump on the bandwagon like that. I don't do that type of shit because Wardley is not Moses. Wardley is not Moses Atoma. Moses Atoma, he's a southpaw. He's faster. I know they sparred together, but he's not that dude. You know what I mean? Because unlike Wardley, Moses can put punches together. It ain't just this one thudding shot and then a bunch of swaggering, swinging, awkward type punches. And a lot of people didn't get that. I said, look, Fabio, he gonna hit you. He can drop you with that shot. He can knock you out with that shot. But if he doesn't, what is his follow through? Is he a good finisher? Is he a good closer? See, we need to understand that about Fabio. He ain't. That's why I did not agree with the Joseph Parker stoppage because he didn't he hit Joseph, but it wasn't like he was putting punches together to really make a true conviction of the ref really truly stopping it. Fabio's stoppage against Parker, was it fair? No, it was not. How much Triple D has over there in the UK? The whole stadium was chanting Fabio. Yeah, well, they're going to get it right next time, hopefully. Frank should make that fight next. Frank should make what? I think it depends on Fabio. If Fabio wants to exercise his rematch clause, being a champion, he can. And you got to give him that. You know what I'm saying? But will he? We just got to see. We got to wait and see. We got to sit down and wait. Atoma versus Triple D. Um, hey, again, depends on Fabio. Fabio could cock block that fight, bro. Fabio could cock block that fight. Nah, I want to get a go. You think if you were Fabio and you put Daniel's ass down twice, why wouldn't you want a rematch? Let's think about that for a minute. Did you not see that AJ fight? You had too much faith in Ben Davison. What is going to happen with Simone when Simone hits back or someone hits back? It's like Chung Lee from Bloodsport. Very good, but brick not hit back. Frank Warren is running the show. Fabio is fighting the rematch. He may. 31 years of age, first loss. Dropped Dubois twice. And if you look at a fight like that, you can see where you did things wrong, and maybe they can perfect it. He took an ass whooping against Frazier Clark. He took an ass whooping against Justice Hooney. And then he didn't win every fight. He got a draw against Clark. Remember that. Mama Lou, counterpunch to you. Fabio will get knocked out in the rematch. He wasn't knocked out in this match. Why would you think? He took Daniel's shots. He got mostly peppered and punished by the jab, followed by every other punch that Daniel Dubois set up with the jab. And that's rights to the body, left uppercuts to the body, left uppercuts upstairs. That's Daniel, right? Fabio is a glorified bar fighter, one hell of a fighter. I would want Derek Chisora and guys like Dave Allen with me if I'm getting in the fight, because them dudes know how to fight. They know how to brawl, not just hang around it. Was Parker ahead on points in his last fight with Fabio? I'm not sure. I think he was. He might have been. I'm not sure. Morning, Robert in the building. Counterpunch to you, bro. I'm glad you guys are waking up. I know you had to take a nap after what we witnessed. What we witnessed was great, man. Triple G destroyed Fabio Worley. He just broke him down. Good fight, though, man. Good fight. Posture matters. Yeah. Yes, Bumpy is the better boxer than Wardley. Who the hell is Bumpy? Are you not entertained? Hey, man. That was a good scrap. Really good scrap, Robert. That was a really good scrap, man. Bumpy Parker. Hey, how about Dubois versus Parker? Give that man the opportunity that he never had, but he signed up for. It's just now on the WBO, which the WBO is the belt that he has once upon a time held. Then we can see what Parker is made of when facing the style of Daniel Dubois. Right? Parker is shit. Daniel ducked him already. I would love to see the fight, though, because it's like the biggest fight on one of the biggest cards that we ever had in history. Monday is the Coke line. Deadline. Crazy, man. Crazy. And I'm a Parker fan. Okay. Triple D versus Ruiz is better than Parker. Lord Jesus. I mean, look, man. That's if Ruiz wants it. Ruiz is after bigger fights. Ruiz is more like someone like Tommy Fury. Those guys have been blessed with big money fights, and they don't want to fight other than fighters that give them big money fights. They don't give a shit if they hang around a year or so. They know this time will be coming. It's almost like winning the lottery. Think about it with fighters. I'm not going to fight a guy for $1 million or 800,000 or 500,000 that may or may not beat my ass. But I will wait for that one fight for 3 or 4 million or 5 million. And he knows what the hell he's doing. Parker will get it too much from Dubois by the looks of things. By the looks of what, though? Think about what you're saying. Because he beat up Fabio? Nah, there's two different fighters, man. But I would like to see it. Triple D and Miller rematch. Why not? Why not? I think Miller was smart by congratulating Daniel Dubois because he knows, like, look in shape. You know? Yeah, he does fight once every 3 years. And he's going to be old as shit by the time he fights again. And I don't know who he's fighting. I don't know what's going on. It's just what it is. Don Charles outsmarted Ben Davison twice. Well, he got the opportunity to redeem himself as far as training Daniel. See, he was at liberty now to slap the shit out of Daniel. He wasn't doing that shit before, was he? Was he? Was he doing that shit in the Usyk fights? No. Was he doing that shit in the Hrgovic fight? Was he with him? No. Triple D versus Frank Sanchez. Frank needs distance to execute certain shots. I don't know if Frank... I'm going to go for Frank. I'm going to root for Frank, but we need to see where Frank's at, too. Good fight, though. How about Daniel Dubois versus Efe Ajagba? It's amazing that Miller fights more than Ruiz, despite all the bans. Yeah, it's crazy. Miller rocking cowboy hats now. Yeah, I seen that shit. He looked like my cousin Otis. Shout out to Otis Washington in the building. Love that man. Wilder could catch Dubois. I mean, he could hit him. But what would it do? I mean, like, how would it affect Dubois? And basically, all Dubois in my mindset, all he has to do is fight Wilder like he did Fabio. I think it's actually a less of a dangerous fight. If Frank Sanchez uses his great-great-grand uncle Luis Ortiz, Larraz's pit, then he'd stand a chance. I don't know. I don't know. Would you take Fury over Dubois at this point? That's if it happened. I know it's a what if question, but it's like, I don't even really like talking about Tyson because Tyson's only going to fight certain fighters. I mean, it's a waste of voice. And my voice is raspy because I was on live 7 hours. Then I did maybe 3 videos after that, and now I'm back at you guys, and I'm honestly, my voice is limited. Wilder still has the veteran IQ. Well, he knows how to throw a right hand, but so did Fabio Wardley, so yeah, I would like to see that. Why not? Wilder would catch Triple D if he's chasing Dubois like a chicken. Well, if he hits Dubois, He has to keep in mind, like, you got guys just because they can punch hard doesn't make them good finishers, doesn't make them combination punchers. See, the problem I have with someone like a Jet Caballel is a Jet Caballel knows how to inflict damage. Him and Martin McCauley by combinations, punch placement, pinpoint accuracy. Wilder's IQ is 8, maybe lower than that. We'll see. Yeah, guys, here's some with a super chat for keeping it moving, Kurt. Appreciate you from New Zealand. Thank you, my brother. Counterpunch to you. Thank you, man. I appreciate the love. West TV Knowledge. What about Wilder and Fabio? Who wins? That's anybody's world. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Honestly, I don't. But I think right now, since Danny Dubois has obtained the WBO heavyweight strap, I think it's time to give him his flowers and his coach. You're up late, Kurt. Wilder hasn't got it. He never was all that. Well, all of that is is an understatement. You know what I mean? I think people who is all that though. Everyone has flaws. Kurt, do you regret saying Fabio Wardley quit? Man, I'm sorry. I didn't supposed to say that. He was stopped. Yes, I regret that because that's not the truth. So yeah. Zhang is a wasted talent. He wasted his best years in amateur boxing. A lot of fighters did. Lomachenko did. Bakare Jololov. I mean, I was not impressed with him at all. Them guys spent too much time in the amateurs. Zhang versus a prime Luis Ortiz. Be a good fight. Two southpaws. I mean, I don't know. Um, be a good fight, man. Better Biev did as well. Yeah, well, Better Biev though. He's made his money. Those guys made their money. They've beat Artur Better Biev has beaten everyone that he's ever been in the ring with, and once by decision, and that's Bivol. Christopher, you welcome. No shame, man. I shouldn't have said that, man. But it is what it is. Artur Beterbiev will beat Benavidez now. It don't matter because they know that it's not a good idea to go after Jaya Pataya or Artur Beterbiev. And they will justify that by the Bivol fight. I don't think Bivol can knock out David. I think he can probably outbox him, but I don't think he can knock him out. I don't think he has that type of power. Zhang has Foreman power. Okay, I won't argue with that. Bro, Beterbiev is old as F. They are aging him out. Yeah, but that's what you do with an old, dangerous, hard-hitting ass fighter like that. You don't fight him right away. What are you, stupid? I am now a Benavidez fan. I've been a Benavidez fan. Benavidez is, then we found out the dude was black. David Benavidez is black, bro. His grandfather's from Dominican Republic, from the island of Hispaniola. That's why I looked at him. I'm like, this dude looks like Sandra Lang, right? Benavidez is not beating Bivol, in my opinion. I am but moment in time. Yeah, they drag it out because they know Benavidez will stay the same, keep his blinding hand speed. He's young, he's youthful. And Artur, unfortunately, by the time that fight happens, Artur maybe be 42, 43 years old. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. Bivol outboxed him. David lost on points. That could happen. Because you're not, like, anybody is just not going to beat Dimitri Bivol, but I think it will be a great thing. It would almost be like Floyd fighting Sugar Shane, because you remember he fought him back in 2010. You know? No, Better BF didn't pop dirty. Something went up. I don't know. I don't think it was him dirty. We would have known that. I thought he was Mexican. No, his daddy's Mexican. His mama is from Ecuador, but her father is from Dominican Republic. República Dominicana. So his dad more than likely looked just like me. That's why you look at him, you see his brother, he got his shit all braided up. But David, he wear it and his shit's low. It's like most people with different ethnic backgrounds. Your hair's going to be straight until you start growing that shit out. Then you start to see a little puff. You start to see a little fro. You see that on David. I've said it. I'm like, man, David looked like a big old... I said it. I said this before it even came out. I said David Benavidez looks like a Dominican to me. He looks like a big ass Dominican. There's a lot of them motherfuckers that look just like that. Tall, brown. Yeah. I like making jokes, period, but those Ortiz jokes are fitting. Better BF had elevated testosterone levels. Yeah, that's what they said. But man, you can get elevated testosterone by eating oysters. You don't eat pork, eating oysters, and pork will lower your testosterone. But he's Muslim, right? So yeah, I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think Artur was just a dude that trained like the Dickens, did a lot of leg exercises. And for you guys should know, and anyone on right now listening to me, if you want to jack up your testosterone, start working leg exercises. Your body produces more when you do so because legs are the biggest muscles in your body. Your legs. Your legs. So no, Better BF, I don't think he's a drug cheat at all. I just think he's one bad MFer. But Dominicans are not always black. That is true. That is true, but more than likely. Yeah. See, what people don't understand, you go back far enough. Grandparents, right? Great grandparents. See, everybody that was in your family makes up who you are. And looking at David, if you guys watch this shit here. Watch this. David Benavidez fat as a kid. Look at this fucking guy. That's David Benavidez. That is David Benavidez. People, that is David Benavidez. Come on, bro. I had that same fucking hair when I was young. Fool. Hold on, sorry. Fool. Think about it. Just look at this guy. That's David Benavidez. Huh? Fuck out of here. I rest my case. Nobody's saying shit. Why? Because you can look at this dude. Look at this dude. That's David. That's David Benavidez. Motherfucker looks like a black orphan. Come on, people. I don't buy into the bullshit. I'm just telling you what I know. You guys want to see that shit again? Hold on. There he is. Look at this guy. David Benavidez. Look at that fucking hair. Huh? Come on, people. That's David, man. That's the dude. That's the Mexican monster. That's him. And shit, you look at him, you're like, dude, I mean, he doesn't even look Mexican. This dude doesn't look fucking Mexican. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, man. It's just, you know, the proof is in the pudding. He was having a bad hair day. No, he wasn't having no bad hair day. He didn't have no bad hair. That's just how his hair is. I don't believe in that shit anyway. Bad hair day. Who the fuck made that up? I remember a cunt said that shit about me one day. I went off on her. I know you were. I was just kidding. No, I wasn't. I'm just saying. He's Dominican, Ecuadorian, and his dad's Mexican. That's what he is, man, and he's kicking everybody's ass. So there you go. But oh man, I mean, it's just, you go back far enough. I mean, what, you know, it's who you are. It's nothing to be ashamed of. The things I don't like how people compartmentalize things, you know? So what was he talking about? Our people are having a civil war and he's not even Mexican. Well, here's the problem. He is Mexican. I didn't say David Benavidez was not Mexican. I didn't say that. But he's not only Mexican. That old mixed shit, that comes from other bullshit. He's just multiracial. See, for somebody to say, if your dad's German and your mom's black, you can't say you're not black and you can't say you're not German, can you? Just saying. I think that's pretty shitty. You know? You can always say I'm both because that's that. But you can't leave out certain things. I've had my personal experience with race. and people's perception of what that is. I remember when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, I had a lot of Puerto Rican friends. I spoke Spanish, right? My Spanish was pretty decent, I guess. But nonetheless, we spoke Spanish together. But those Puerto Rican friends told other people that I was half and half. I'm not half any fucking thing. Oh, he's half Cuban and half black. No, I'm not. What the fuck does that mean? That means my Irish grandmother, where does that leave her? You know what I mean? But when the truth came out, they acted different. They all acted like, oh, he's a liar. No, bitch, you're a liar because you assumed. I'm German, Sweden, and black. Exactly, Jay Roos. That doesn't mean, hey, somebody said, oh, that's that Swedish dude. And then later on, no, he's just black. Oh, I thought he was Swedish. The fuck? Why? Why would that matter? You see? Kurt Thomas said the plan was for Wardley to win, which would put him in a better position. What do you think he meant by that? That meant that he was going to fight Wardley. And if Wardley won, he wouldn't be in a position for a rematch. So it would be less time. That's what that means. Like Badu Jack, exactly. Badu Jack is from Amsterdam, is he? Right? I'm Maori, Portuguese, and Italian. So any of those that you say what you are doesn't mean that you're not what that is. But wait, you said you were. Wait a minute, I thought you were from Maori. Wait, wait, I thought you were Italian. Well, what? You know that type bullshit. People then start to overthink certain shit that doesn't apply to them. But it's just crazy how people label you as a perception of what they think you are. You see that? Like, that type of shit is like, it baffles me. But I learned about how people think based on race, ethnicity. And it's wrong. I've had issues with I dated, and it was like that same time frame. Like, what the fuck you want from me? Why are your nose pointy? Why do you look like that? What the fuck are you talking about? I looked how God made my ass. It happens. In other words, it would be an easier fight to make. Well, it would be an easier fight because Fabio lost, and he would have to get that belt back for for Moses to even want to fight him. You know what I mean? And then it would set Moses back because Moses had his mind set on fighting Fabio for a title. See, it's almost like this. It's like this. If you had plans to fight this person and then that person lost, then where does that leave you? It doesn't leave you anywhere right now because that person lost because things did not go according to plan. You see what I'm saying? So knowing how slow they roll out fights, I remember growing up in the late 90s, there were fights made consistently. Yes. People are just stupid. They always try to judge you based on their own views of a certain ethnicity. Yeah. And that's what people do. Instead of talking to you, to saying, hey, this is a pretty cool dude. Especially here in America. I don't know about other countries, per se, as far as that goes. I mean, because in other countries, what I've noticed, if you are American, that's your nationality. Now, to get to further know you, that is different. But they know you as who? Someone grew up in America, lived in America, from America. You're from the UK. You're from Ireland. You see what I mean? It's just like they don't know about all the different layers to you and your family background, which is specifically your own. If that makes sense to anybody, I don't know. Of course, Jake Paul ain't gonna go back to heavyweight. He shouldn't. He learned his lesson. Good for him. You can beat up on an old Mike if Mike took a dive or not. You tried that shit with AJ and you seen what the hell the heavyweight division is really like, and that's not from a champion. That's for somebody that was a champion. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that showed you, yo, this is where it is. This is what it is. Don't come here. Mama Lou, I'm English, but I'm also Irish. Wonderful. But if you tell somebody, yo, I'm from England, would you be lying, bro? Would you really be lying? So, that shit gets me, man. But no, Danny Dubois, Don Charles, Riza Fox, like I promised. Riza, you motivated your boy. You motivated your man. Riza Fox, this is dedicated to you. I'm glad you motivated Daniel. But understand something, Riza. Since you motivated Daniel, don't demotivate the motherfucker by giving unnecessary stress. But thank you for motivating Daniel Dubois. Donnie Pimp Hand Charles. Get right. Daniel, come on. He needed it, and Daniel said he needed it. Daniel said, I needed that. He did need it. Slap the shit out of him. Wake his ass up. Stop looking at your daddy. Look at me, motherfucker. I'm training you. Fuck your daddy right now. Get yourself right. Get yourself right. That's what he did. That wasn't in this year's census. Dubois said, yeah. Like I said, he said he needed it. Wasn't tested enough back then. Don Charles was very nice towards Ben Davison. I was surprised. Well, I mean, why would he be shitty? His guy won again. Yes. Hold on a second. Don Charles is usually angry at somebody. Well, I think what would make Don Charles happy is exactly what happened. Ben Davison is a good coach to get you to world level, but not good enough to keep you there. Well, I mean, he has his own niche and he has his own way of doing things. And it's like this with a lot of coaches, man. These coaches, they're praised one minute and then they're ridiculed the next. A lot of them, they get thrown under the bus. Kurt, you see how the ref gave Wardley all the grace but won't give his opponent no chance at all? Yes, I did. I think Ben Davison is overrated. I think he's a pretty good trainer. I think certain people go to certain trainers for certain reasons. And Fabio Wardley, he does what he always does with his fighters. He congratulates them and praises them for the offense. So I think he focuses on that rather than focus on actual defense. I think someone like Wardley that's taken a lot of punishment, I think he should try the crab defense. Just try to get out of the way. Triple D is having a party at Chuck E. Cheese to celebrate. Hey, wonderful. Invite me. Aren't you entertained, cut? Yeah, I'm entertained, bud. Don't teach me. Please. Triple D is having a... Oh, yeah, we already got that one. But yeah, man. Shout out to Danny Dubois, man. Give the man his flowers. He showed people, after people doubted him, that he couldn't do it. But he did it. Didn't he not? So, anyway, guys, I'm tired. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm signing off. You guys, thank you for showing up. And we will see you soon later in the AM or the PM. God bless you. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace!